Welcome everybody to another exclusive review by Dreamreef.nl. Today we're taking a look at another new Aqua Medic product, and this time it's the aquabreed Complete. A complete cultivation unit to breed some Artemia. Again, this is a product that hasn't been released yet, so it's brand new and it's a prototype, so the eventual product might be a little bit different. As you can see right here, this is the actual cultivation unit. You have to insert a tube in it, and in the back you can see the bracket I mounted on the wall. This time I screwed it on there. The screws are not included in the kit. Next thing you do is place these brackets in the mounting. You need to push them in really good, but else they would fall out. So after those are installed, you can just hang on the cultivation unit. It's already complete. It has the valves installed, one on the right and one at the bottom. I'll explain later what these are for. So while I'll continue installing the air tube on the whole system, I'll explain a little bit about this unit. The aquabreed Complete by Aqua Medic is a complete system to breed Artemia. It comes with an air pump. It has two valves at the bottom, and it's built that way that the Artemia should not drop down to the bottom but always cycle. That's why there's a cone at the bottom, and that's also where the air is released. There's one big valve at the bottom that I'll show you later where you can drain the entire unit with, but there's also a valve on the side with a little a hose on it, which is very easy to use, and you can just either take out the Artemia you need, but either way, if you turn off the pump, the scales will drop down and you can just take Artemia out without taking any dirt out. So that's a smart system. As you can see here, all you have to do after you install this is connect a few air hoses. It's all needed for your aeration system, and the reason that it goes all the way up is to make sure that no water drops back out. This is the air pump by Halia. It's a nice quiet pump. At first I thought it was a little bit small, but turns out it's efficient enough to work with this unit. As you can see, these are the valves I talked about. At the bottom is the big valve, which can drain the entire unit, and now you can also see that the bottom of the unit is also a cone shape, which ensures that your Artemia keeps moving while you're breeding it. So after connecting all these pieces of air tube, you grab your tube in the middle, cut it. Why? Because there's an extra valve that allows you to control your airflow, which is very important because you don't want too much air rate, but you need a little bit of air in there to keep the motion going and keep oxygen levels high enough in the container. So I have to admit, I never ever bred Artemia myself, simply because I found these cultivation units either too expensive or just simply because my local fish store has it stocked weekly. However, Aqua Medic promised me that this thing will be cheap, and on top of that, although it takes a little while to install all the parts, once it's installed, I must admit that it was rather easy to use. If you're wondering what I'm putting on here, it's a hose clamp for the extra valve right there, which allows you to release Artemia without taking out any dirt that I was talking about earlier. Alright, so that's it. Everything's installed, all the air hose in place. As you can see, you can take the top of the cone off, fill it with about 1 liter of water. I already pre-added 35 grams of salt to this water. That's all you need, so basically you just make a normal salinity level. After you filled this unit, make sure it's not leaking anywhere, that you connected all the hoses right, because you don't want your unit to be leaking over the days and end up with a wet floor. Also, another good place to install this thing is, for example, on the side of your sump or anything. All it needs is the right temperature and a little bit of light. So what I used is the Live A from Aqua Medic. These are Artemia eggs without scales on it, so that way you'll have very little dirt in your breeding unit, and basically all you have left is the actual Artemia. As you might know, it takes about 24 hours to 48 hours depending on the temperature and the light, and eventually you'll end up with Artemia naupli. That's one of the smallest versions of Artemia. If you want to continue breeding, you'll have to start feeding them in order to grow them, but in this case I chose to just grow naupli because it's fast, it's easy, and not only my fish but my corals also digest it. So this is, I think, 2 days later. I tried filming the Artemia naupli, but they're so tiny that I couldn't get them on camera. I'm going to show you two ways to drain this unit or get the Artemia out, however you want to call it. The first thing you can do is use this hose clamp. Make sure you have your container underneath it, release the hose clamp, and simply it will draw out the Artemia. You can see it running out. Now this would be preferably if you don't want to empty the unit all at once, or if you used skilled eggs, then you might have a little bit of dirt at the bottom of the cone and you don't want to take that out. You just want to have the Artemia. In my case, because I used the live A units, there were no skills, there was no dirt, so I just drained the whole unit at the bottom. And I'm gonna feed all the Artemia Naupili in my tank because there's enough corals that will eat the rest. On top of that, it's live food, so it won't really waste your tank that much. However, what I do always do is throw away the water from the unit and sieve out the Naupili with a very small sieve, especially made for food like this. Alright, we watched enough draining. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and show you what actually came out of the container. So that's all the Naupili that came out of the cultivation unit, ready to be put in the tank. Sorry about the television, by the way. I forgot to switch it off and it's reflecting in my overflow box. Here's the Naupili going in. You can see how small it is, and it will be eaten by the fish and the corals all together. I must say I'm very surprised. It was very easy to breed this. The Aquabreed Complete made it a very easy system, especially combined with the live A scaleless Artemia. So if you ever thought about breeding Artemia, this is definitely something you want to get as soon as it's released. Of course, we'll inform you when it's out there. For the time being, be sure to check out our forum or at least our Facebook. It's down below in the description. And if you want to stay up to date of Aqua Medic products, I've also put a link to their website down in the description and get signed up for their newsletter. For now, thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time.